Hey people, Intro here, 3v3 SD province. This is the Emperor's finest on the blue team, innit? Apothecary here is Grapefruit Jeff. This is a support hero fighting in melee combat by default, begins with a heal and a passive health regeneration aura alongside E1 and a force commander. A versatile frontline hero, can bring offense, disruption and support for the Emperor. Got a good haircut as well. And rounding off the team, AngryMangoGuy with a Techmarine. Starts off in ranged combat, can get to melee weapon, supports with structures and repairs. Blood Ravens here as well. On the red team, it's double Lord Generals. This is MangoSchmuser rocking some Deathcore of Krieg DLC. And this is Dorg. These guys start with a retinue they can add to the retinue throughout the game, giving them more abilities, regional defense and support. And rounding off the teams, Mangoat and a Lictor Alpha. A melee specialist can infiltrate and disrupt, some powerful offense and a bit of support. Already flesh hooked and scared off that Techmarine from the east side. What's going on west side? Bit of a standoff. The Sentinel's taking some damage, getting some repairs. Truck and Bolt CS Tactical Marines moving up. Almost called them CSM. Back to the east side then. Bit of a flank maybe from this Sentinel here. Gonna focus down some scouts. Lictor Alpha runs away. This is, yeah, both of the Space Marine players here all huddled up. This guy does not have the ground pound. Could maybe charge forward and break that barbed wire there. Decent weight of lasgun fire, and here comes the Lord General of Dorg. Could maybe tie up some Marines. Force Commander goes flying in to those guardsmen, gets stomped. Attacks forcing melee combat. Massively outmatching those guardsmen, of course. They are dying in droves. Yeah, no tying up from the Lord General. He's just shooting away. Here comes some scouts. They can add their weight of fire. Guardsmen flee. Sentinels still in place and guardsmen still in play. And here come the Tyranids again. Double Gaunts for Mangoat. That Lictor Alpha can scare these tacks with a flesh hook. The Techmarine back out onto the field. Goes for the Mastercrafted Bolter for the high-powered shot and just good DPS in general. Oh no. Derek or Nigel died. Who was it? I think it was Nigel. Yeah, that's Derek there. Big old shooting match. Tax looking for cover. That's only light cover. There's the flesh hook on the Techmarine. Drags him into a barrel which explodes. And now he ventures forward for some melee, or maybe not. He's hiding behind this container here. There he goes. Goes after the scouts. You chuck a grenade. Very nicely placed on the Gaunts. They were able to move away and only drop a couple of models. That could have been way, way worse if they didn't move away. Spotters on the way for MangoSchmuser. Cancels them. Gets Catachan Devils. We've got Catachan Devils here for Dorg as well. They've got to run. They've got to jog quite a way to get to the front line. Back to the west side. Apothecary runs. Assault squad in play. Jump troops that disrupt when they land. Lord General probably just needs to run here. I'm surprised they bothered to use their jump. But they're on them. Tax take the cover. Force the Sentinel back. Lord General staying in play. Is he going for the garrison maybe? One of the retinue fellas goes down. I think that was Nigel. Derek and the Lord General get into the garrison. Little bunker over there. Assault squad also for E1 in the mid. That was an improvised explosive going off. There's a jump into a stomp. Double Gaunts now there to feast on their knees. But they run away anyway. Grenades let fly. Those scouts have a grenade ready to go as well. Force Commander sprinting in with his melee charge. Doesn't actually have his Armor of Alacrity up. Big mob of Marines moving up. These guys with a flamer breaking to the west to try and go for the power. They might bash this node first. Yep. Got their eyes on this though, I'm sure. Pinned all the way back to the VP. No cover though for these fellas. There's one little tank trap here they could maybe use. The Techmarine could maybe get behind that. But he just backs off. And the Lord General breaks to the west to try to stop this happening. Tax might get flanked by Catachan Devils here as they go for this power bash. In fact, that's exactly what's happening. And those Catachans have power melee knives that can mess up these Marines. They're just going to keep on running, lead them on their merry way. 431 to 488. More tax for Grapefruit Jeff. These guys are still running. Getting chased by an entire army, taking them out of the other fights, I suppose. They're going to need to run though. Patrician's going into melee on retreat. Can they get a model? They can. Meanwhile, kicking off in the mid, Assault Squad are quite low, fighting... Is that double Hormogaunts there? Yeah, with Adrenal Glands as well. And of course the Lictor Alpha's in there. He's got like 50 DPS melee by default, that fella. Quite a lot. He doesn't have a ranged weapon though, no sidearm. And they can do a lot for you, a bolt pistol for example. Marines get knocked over and run away. These guys are still in play. They can maybe defend this power a bit. Are they going to go for the power? They could also drop an improvised explosive on it, but I think both of do all 3 scouts have a sergeant? No, 2 of the scouts have a sergeant. They can spot those things. This one right here, look, gets taken out. Or did they set it off? There's no scout here to spot it. 4-2-1 to 4-6-8. Beautiful retreat grenade. Almost wipes those Catechins. Looks like they had 4 the Emperor on them as well. Battle Cry's been popped. Starting ability of the Force Commander. He will do special attacks for the duration. Each one buffing surrounding allies. So you can get big buffs off of it because it all stacks up. Techmarine backing off. Replacing a gen. I think they only lost 1 gen though. One of them needs repairs. Tier 2's coming in then. Dorg and Mangoat and AngryMangoGuy already there. E1 just started and MangoSchmuser just started too. 406, 468. VP still quite even. Not a whole lot in it. Especially in the staging game. The Space Marines are hitting back well. Assault Squad doing so much heavy lifting here alongside that Force Commander as well. These guys with the Flamer going for the power, while these fellas run interference. While these guys run, I thought they were going to stay and play a bit longer. Didn't want to drop a model, I guess. Improvised explosive. Sorry, the old reliable knocking back these Marines here. And they're not able to get any bashing. And a flesh hook on the Force Commander breaks down the assault. Still in play though is AngryMangoGuy with his double tax and his mastercrafted bolter. Lictor Alpha comes in to have a word. No power weapon on this guy yet. He does have his Pheromone Cloud. Kind of surprised we don't see the Terrify more often to make something retreat. Maybe it's just kind of expensive. I think it's 50 power, isn't it? Or quite close to that. I think it's pretty expensive. But just making a Tactical Marines retreat, taking them out of the fight immediately is a big deal. You can use it on Assault Marines as well. You can't use it on Terminators, of course. They can't retreat. But yeah, getting an Assault Squad out of there, or a Stern Guard, or Vanguard. Here's some Stern Guard for AngryMangoGuy. First Company Marines that can change ammo to combat all targets. By default, they'll have Kraken Bolts, but they're switching most likely to Hellfire. There it is. Acid rounds that do damage over time to light infantry and heroes. Bad news for these Hormogaunts, but they can still get in. Dropped a single model, but look at the damage they did. Huge damage with those Hellfire rounds as they approached. And that's level 1 Stern Guard as well. Very effective. Ogrins on the field now for Dorg. Ogrins coming in for MangoSchmuser. There's the high-powered shot suppressing those poor guardsmen. Maybe he should have saved it for the Ogrins coming in, but he might not have known they were there. West is red, but it looks like there's a big fight going on. Here's a Librarian now for AngryMangoGuy, and here come the Ogrins. Using the Use Your Red for some disruption and speed bonuses. Great line breakers. Soak up a lot of piercing damage here because they have super heavy infantry armor. Librarian gets shotgunned. Patricians should be closing for melee, I think. There we go. You've got power weapons, fellas. Ogrins with heavy melee ripper guns that they'll smack you with, and they're going to try and get a full bash. What's going on west side? It's a big old retreat going on. Ogrins coming in, scaring off everything. They had full health, look. I wonder what happened. The Ogrins that scary. The Lord General here with stabilizers to heal up after a fight. All the gens are down on the southeast corner. So the Stern Guard would want to use Vengeance rounds against the Ogrins because they're super heavy infantry. But they're keeping their Hellfire for now to shoot up these guardsmen. Try to get some of that bleed going. These guys have plasma guns as well, so they are a threat. Can trade very well with the plasmas against Marines. You'd still expect the high-powered shot to be used on the Ogrins, though. You got to get them out of there first, surely, because they'll just tie you up and disrupt you and all that stuff. Speaking of plasma, we've got one here for the Tactical Marines of Grapefruit Jeff. It's a very good plasma gun as well. Over 26 DPS just on the plasma. 315 to 446. Assault squad jumping in. Pheromone cloud is there, so these guys can reinforce, and it also debuffs the assault squad, although it doesn't give you a debuff circle. Yeah, 30% damage debuff. There are some things like that, and again, that don't give you a debuff circle. I think because sometimes it can be a bit buggy. Sometimes. Same deal with the Holy Brazier of the Inquisitor and her Holy Pyre. Flesh Hook on the Apothecary. Ogrins doing a fantastic job soaking up huge amounts of damage. Let the plasmas do their thing back there. Map is looking quite red at the moment. Can the Space Marines fight back? Got solid armies on the field, but the Ogrins are shutting a lot of it down. No sign of a Thunderhammer for the Force Commander. He's got his standard though. More Stern Guard, I guess, is it? Yeah, more Stern Guard. This time for E1. You are limited to one of those fellas per player. One of those squads. Assault squad getting messed up by the plasmas as soon as they land. There's crippling poison on the Force Commander thanks to the Termagants. Mangoat just went straight to tier 3 with double Hormagaunts, and this is an awkward spot. What's he up to? He's sneaking. Goes straight after that Techmarine. He's still level 1, the Lictor Alpha, gets a good special. He's got no energy for a Flesh Hook on, and he runs away because shotguns are coming in. Librarian's got his fancy staff. Sentinel has a missile launcher on it. There's those frag missiles. Can they get a good shot? That's a decent hit on the Stern Guard there. Ouch, a big old smite on double guardsman. Don't have any Chimera support. It's kind of rare to see these days, actually. A few years ago, it was immediately Chimera every tier 2. But it's been adjusted a bunch of times since then. Lots and lots of plasma. Especially alongside that Catachan, those Catachan control abilities. We have Melter Gun Lord General here for Dorg, and he's got the medic over there. Hand out medical packs like that to heal up the guardsmen. 260 to 432 on the VPs. Can Mangoat get something out? He's looking for a Swarm Lord, looks like. On the west side, big old fight. Ogrins forced off. We got a Power Fist Force Commander. Not as disruptive as a Thunderhammer, but does huge damage per hit. And why do you need to disrupt something when you can just murder it? Level 3 Force Commander here. 260 to 416 also helps you, of course, against vehicles with Flesh over Steel, which you'd expect to see against double guards. And here comes a Swarm Lord then. And there's tier 3 for MangoSchmuser. And a full Power Bash and a decap. Anointed Power Axe for the Apothecary with Armor of Purity for faster heals. And Purification Rites for Disruption on heal. These guys with Plasma, these guys with Flamer. And they've got that VP. They've broken out on the map quite well now, the Space Marines, haven't they? Starting to get the measure of these Ogrins, disrupting them early. Keeping maximum range. They've got the Shotgun Blast and the high-powered shot here, AngryMangoGuy. These guys are they're actually using Kraken Bolts. They should be using Vengeance Rounds against the Ogrins, not Kraken Bolts. Maybe they were shooting at the Sentinel earlier. 260 to 385. Okay, they're definitely using the wrong ammo type against the Ogrins there. Assault Squad jumping in. Nice little assist here from E1. Massive threat now with that Power Fist. There's a bunch of tier 3s coming in for the Space Marine guys. Swarm Lord will hit the field momentarily. Was the rush to tier 3 worth it for Mangoat? Level 2 Lictor Alpha now. Surely he's going to get one of his power weapons going. Here comes Deadly Jump. I mean, it's just always a good piece of war gear. It's only 25 power too. You can disrupt a blob of Marines with it, for example. There's that Swarm Lord then. Has 2,000 hit points of vehicle armor. Super unit for Tyranids. Provides a speed and reinforcement synapse around it. As well as some very deadly melee. Doesn't want to tangle with these guys because of that Power Fist. And the Stern Guard using their Vengeance Rounds as well. Leveling up to 2. It's good power bashing, the Vengeance Rounds. Okay, here we go. Swarm Lord alongside the Ogrins is going to be fun to see. Here he goes. There's Flesh over Steel immediately. Or Flesh over Flesh, I guess. Just like frazzles his brain. But now he's going again, the Swarm Lord, Assault Squad jumping in to facilitate the retreat. And they themselves need to retreat. There's Leech Essence from the Swarm Lord to drain health of enemies nearby. Some good sustainability in the field. I think it's a per model drain though, so more effective against the more numerous factions in terms of infantry models. You guys might all need to run, because Ogrins alongside Swarm Lord is kind of scary. Because those Ogrins are getting speed buffs off this guy. On the west side then, Apothecary is what? Level 4. A bunch of plasmas. We got sniper rifle as well for fire on my target. One of the Ogrins understand that order. They're still going to run in. There was the blade flurry. Very cool. Used it on scouts though, which is a bit weird. I guess he caught them in a good spot. And some power bashing now with crack missiles from the Sentinel. You can switch between the missile types. Techmarine goes down. Should get revived there though. Stern Guard coming in. Force Commanders there buffing everything with the standard. Can they threaten the Swarm Lord though? There's no missile launchers that I can see. There's Flesh over Steel. Oh, we now have Vanguard Veterans, so they won't have their Melter Bomb. And oh, we've got Ogrins here with Use Your Shield. Massive suppression around them. Also makes them tougher while it's active. There's 42, I think it's 42 or 45 maybe heavy melee DPS power mauls. The axe is E1. Yeah, that was a bad fight. Librarian goes down. I got caught by surprise with that. Use Your Shield, I think. Really messed them up. 232 to 323. AngryMangoGuy down to scouts and double tax. Did he have anything else? I think he's the one who lost the Librarian, maybe. Space Marine is doing well on the west side, though. Pushing all the way through is Grapefruit Jeff. Level 4 Apothecary. Vanguard Veterans. And Flame Attacks, Power Bashing. Level 4 Flame Attacks. So that's a very quick Power Bash. And Scouts sent to the VP. Nicely done. Should at least get a decap. Lord General's going to have a word with them. Don't decap my VP, fellas. They got it. And then they run. And Catachans can maybe melee them. They can get there. Not quite. Oh, did they not decap this VP? I don't think they did. Lictor Alpha uses his deadly jump just for mobility there. Or was he aiming for something? Don't think he was aiming for those scouts. Do I see lightning claws? No. I'm going to say, I thought I saw lightning claws for a second. I think I saw the lightning claw of the Vanguard Veteran like superimposed where it looked like it was on the Terminator. But they've got an assault cannon. Swarm Lord giving chase. Terminator's getting a few shots in. They can maybe suppress the Ogrins. 232 to 259. VPs are quite even, kicking off now. Vanguard get the hell out of there. Yes, these are just bad fights with the Ogrins and Ogrins and the Swarm Lord. Land Raider Redeemer on the way for AngryMangoGuy. This drop pod's going to be taken down. It's delivered some Stern Guard in. They might get a full power bash if they care to. Terminator's able to get some shots in, and that's a defensive smoke from the Catachans. I believe it gives 50% damage resistance and suppression immunity. It's pretty damn good. Big retreat there. Vanguard Veterans tearing through some guards, when meanwhile the Ogrins giving chase to a bunch of Marines. So good at shutting them down with the Use Your Shield. The Force Commander also running. Swarm Lord still in play. Shotgun blast on those Ogrins there, but they're still going. Are they going a bit too long? Because Vanguard Veterans messed them up on retreat. They didn't quite wipe them though. Tyranno formation, they might have stopped them attacking actually. They might have saved those Ogrins. Global nuke from the Tyranids. These spires shoot up, damaging and knocking back stuff, and they also provide big buffs to surrounding Tyranids. There's only the Swarm Lord here, though. I don't think he gets buffed by them. Librarian coming in for Jeff. Mangoat needs to get something else on the field, surely. Really struggling to keep requisition going. Guess he was reinforcing all of his Hormagaunts and stuff around the Swarm Lord. Power bashed here and decapped. Lictor says hello. They retreated in time so they didn't get knocked back. He's got his Corrosive Claws now. A power weapon that debuffs on hit. And slows the vehicles. Look at that. Pretty good. Here's the Redeemer, driving up the east side for now, but usually you'd see them on the contested victory point. There's some Kasrkin in play with those plasma guns. Did they get 3 of them? 2 of them. So almost 40 DPS plasma from the 2 plasmas. They've got us a rapid firing. Very cool. And they still got those hell guns. Looking for a grenade. These scouts. Oh, anticipated them backing off, using their sprint into the grenade. Very, very tricksy from E1. Force Commander's level 5. Doesn't have an armor upgrade yet, but he's doing alright in it. Swarmlord is not having a go at the Land Raider. It does have a multi-melter on top, but I expected him to thrash on it for a bit. Mangoat must be looking for a Carnifex, I guess. Manticore on the way for MangoSchmuser. We now have double Bullgrins. These guys probably got the Bullgrin upgrade, so they didn't have to reinforce. As long as the Bonehead Leader survived. Just turn them all into Bullgrins. Yep, Carnifex on the way for Mangoat. Maybe a super heavy tank being saved up for by Dorg. Redeemer staying east side for now. Big mob of guard. Looking at the west side, I think. Jeff is still here with his fancy axe. Level 5 Apothecary. Manticore might be able to get a volley off in this fight. Scouts looking for a shotgun blast, not a grenade. And they got shot a lot. Sentinel goes down. Big old plasma going in on those Marines. Vanguard veterans jumping in. Bullgrins are there to counter-initiate. And a venerable Dreadnought dropped in by AngryMangoGuy. Unique to the Techmarine. He's going to have a grand old time charging in to the Lord General's position. Manticore needs to be careful. Swarmlord is chasing down the Land Raider. Assault Terminators in there as well now for E1. Unique to the Force Commander. Inspiring on kill. And they are smacking around those Bullgrins. So is the Dreadnought there. Lictor Alpha trying to debuff the Land Raider, I guess. This hits. But then he gets Assault Cannon to death. And this Swarmlord's going to get a las cannon shot to the back. Dreadnought going after it, 185 to 175. That engagement turned very good for the Space Marines there with those drops. Can this Swarmlord even get away? Trying to use Leech Essence. Crippling Poison on the Terminators is nicely done. Baneblade coming in for Dorg. Carnifex is what? A Venom Cannon for large targets such as this Dreadnought. Not sure how reliably it'll hit Terminators these days though. Terminators used to be large targets and you could hit them with anti-vehicle weapons, which I kind of liked, but it was seen as a bit too detrimental to them, I suppose. I mean, now they're limited to 1, maybe I can see it. 185 to 154. These guys trying to power fist down this Manticore. Yeah, they needed the Librarian to get them back to safety using Gate of Infinity there. All of a sudden, Space Marines looking like they've hit their stride, eh? With a Land Raider, multiple Terminators, high-level Marines, a Librarian. Some solid heroes. Still no armor for this fella. The Techmarine has Signum, yep. Waiting for the Baneblade. This thing is probably going to target... I was going to say the Dreadnought, but the Land Raider's closer here. It's getting some big shots on it. There goes the Bioplasma. Did it hit? I don't know if that actually hit. Those Bullgrins did not get fully reinforced. 185 to 123. Here comes a Manticore strike. Oh, a few hits. Made them pull back at least. You don't want to overextend that Carnifex and get it las cannon and stuff. Where is the las cannon anyway? Picking off over here now. User's shield is in there. 2-to-1 cap for the Space Marines at the moment. Vanguard into the backline, going straight after the Kasrkin, are they? Yeah, using Merciless Strike as well. They just leveled to 2. There's the Baneblade. With a mega battle cannon on top. Heavy bolters and las cannons, and that's a rocket run. A pretty good one too. I think that wiped something. Was it scouts? Not sure if it wiped Marines or scouts there. Assault Terminators on the Carnifex. Swarmlord backing off. Baneblade getting some shots and helping out. Can Mangoat get something else on the field? Here comes some more Kasrkin. Kasrkin can swap their special weapons as much as they like for free. Just need to wait. And they do have some very handy disruptive grenade launchers. They can also get melter guns. There's an orbital and there's a manticore strike. Orbital is almost completely dodged. And look at all the plasma streaming into those Terminators there. Didn't drop a model though. These guys had to reposition because of the manticore, and now Ogrins are on them. And there's a creeping barrage, is it? No, that's a rocket run, full-on rocket run. Does it wipe those Marines? Very nearly. The Sergeant survives, or does he? He's getting smacked on by a Ogryn, but he did make it out. Apothecary almost level 7. He gets a stronger heal each level, so leveling that guy up is huge. There's the las cannon. Blue team losing their natural VP to some Termagants. Another Carnifex on the field now for Mangoat. Oh, we do see Menacing Visage for the Terrifier. Oh, wow. The Baneblade went down. Completely missed that while I was watching the west side. I imagine it was those Assault Terminators, eh? I'll try to get that on camera for you. If I remember. Redeemer could do with some repairs, but it's doing alright. Vanguard Veterans have been pretty awesome so far. Can't quite get a model off those Ogrins though. 158 to 58. And Space Marines are taking the west side for a 2-1. Maybe the Lictor could keep harassing the VP, scaring things off with the Menacing Visage. It's only level 2 though. Can he hold up well against if he has to like fight Vanguard Veterans or something? Wasted me orbital, says Grapefruit Jeff. That was the one we saw earlier, I think. That was over here. It's very rare that you want to keep your beams that close together. Because if you're aiming for a vehicle, they can just drive out of it. And infantry is going to spread out when they see it. You want them spread out so that the beam knocks stuff into other beams. Vanguard Veterans. Level 2. They're going to jump out. What are they doing? Got grenaded by the Kassakin is what happened. Manticore strike kills a Marine. Vanguard Veteran is still in play. Ogrins run away. Hey, look how close the Manticore is. Can hit those shots pretty quickly. Meanwhile, the other Carnifex is what? They're both Venom Cannons, actually. And here's the Lehman Russ for Dorg. Going for Vanquisher. For anti-large target. Terminator is still a big threat to it, though. And these guys are on the VP. Gated out by the Librarian. By this one. Nicely done. Yeah, oppressive now from the blue team, isn't it? From the Space Marine fellas. They're keeping the red team pinned back. Although, there's this. Mark target on the Swarm Lord. And the Venerable take on all this stuff. It's level 2 with Dark Age. Taking big damage, though, from the Venom Cannons. And the Lictor Alpha is debuffing it. Tries to charge out. And does not make it. There's Stoicism activating. Giving it buffs for its last 10 seconds there. It comes back to try and fight it out. Does it also give it a speed buff? And it blows up. Storm Lord running away from Terminators because they do have Power Fists. Looks like it's far enough away. Forcing melee with those Carnifexes there. They still have big old claws, but there's the game. Space Marines take it with a 2-1 cap at the end. Holding that west side solidly with the Land Raider. Couldn't quite put it together to get on the Land Raider, could they? The Ogrins and Ogrins did well, but they in turn seemed to kind of slow down the vehicles coming out, and the Baneblade loss was huge, even though I didn't see it. I'll try and figure out what happened there. It was a bit too far forward, I guess, and got chased back by the Force Commander and his Assault Terminators is what I'm guessing. What have we got then? Level 7 Apothecary in there. Level 6 Force Commander. Level 5 Techmarine. This guy never got an armor upgrade, did really well. Level 3 Lord General here. Level 4 Lord General and a level 3 Lictor Alpha. Well, there you have it, guys. Big thanks to these guys for giving us an Emperor's Finest. And I'll see you guys next time.